that voodoo, girl. Calling me, I bet you be. Oh, I bet you be. You never had my back ever. You ain't know what's the name, yeah. I know you see me call. Never had my back. I was there and all you had. You ain't know what's the name. That's why you MIA. You came selling dreams, but your ass is trash. Disrespecting me. Keep the motor, I'ma show you how bad it could be. Don't tell me, don't tell me, cause I'm running from you. I know you don't care. No, you won't be there. Never had my back, yeah. I bet you be calling me. I bet you be calling me. Calling, never had my back. Now you think you're gonna call me. Calling me. I know better, don't call me. No, you won't be calling. Never had my back, yeah. I bet you be calling me. Front like you keep it real. Okay, you wanna play the field. Said you wanna wipe your hands. Baby, go ahead and get shot. Tired of all the lies. Being caught by surprise. Said you wanna think about it. I think you need some time. You're disrespecting me. Kill the mood, I'ma show you how big could do. Tell me, don't tell me, cause I'm running from you. I know that I don't care. I know you won't be there. You never had my back, yeah. But I bet you be calling me. I bet you be calling me. Oh, I bet you be calling. You never had my back, yeah. But I bet you be calling me. I bet you be calling me. Oh, I bet you be calling. You never had my back, yeah. But I bet you be calling me. I know, but I don't care. You will never be there. I don't care. No, no, no. I know, but I don't care. I know, but I don't care. I bet you be calling me. Ooh, I bet you be calling me. Calling me. I know, don't call me. I'm calling. Ooh, I bet you be calling. I'll be waiting, calling me. I'ma tell you to keep it real. Hey, listen, I don't know, but I bet you be calling me. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't know, but I bet you be calling me. All right. And so Tiffany Jae is going to be the second spectacular individual that you hear this evening. But we wanted to salute her by bringing you out today with Calling Me. All right. I was fortunate to meet this handsome gentleman a couple of months ago on a carpet, or shall I say on the concrete. But yeah. But his presence, his disposition, it's something about a man, like a man that just exudes when they just can stand and you just know who they are. You feel what I'm saying? And so I want you to meet Ron Godfrey. He's an American actor. And he began his career in 2013. So what I'm going to do without further ado is bring out Mr. Godfrey.
What an introduction. Wow.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Absolutely. So look, let everybody know a little bit about the Mr. Ron Godfrey.
Wow. You something else. Again, my name is Ron Godfrey. I'm an actor, author, entrepreneur, 51 years old, and loving life. Life is good. My career is treating me well, and I just love what I do, and I'm thankful for being here.
All right. Talk to us a little bit about your your resume, because you said you started in 2013.
Right.
But from what I can see, you've done right much work. Now, so let's walk through your resume a little bit, and then let's talk about some of the experiences, because I know stage plays and film, it's sometimes a little bit different. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I started in 2013. And the funny thing is, I went to an audition, didn't know what to expect. I drove 10 hours, not 10 hours, but 2 hours and 10 minutes for a 10-minute audition. And the director said, well, we'll call you. And I was like, you what? And I just before leaving, I'm standing there, I'm saying to myself, I just drove 2 hours and 10 minutes to be told I'll call you. And I said, nah, this ain't happening. And just before leaving the building, she called me back to her table and said, Ron, we're going to give you the part. And that was the birth of my acting career. And 4 months later, I was on stage debuting at a stage play. Yeah.
How did that feel though? Like the anxiety of gas, like $3. And even then gas was high.
Right.
And you like, you going what?
Yeah.
You going who? What was it like?
That's exactly how I was. I was like, wait a minute. I listen, you just don't understand what I went through to get here. And to be told, I'll call you back or we'll call you. But then to turn around to be told, we're going to give you the part. All I could do once I got in my vehicle, all I could do was just sit back and I had tears in my eyes, because you have to understand one thing. I was just jumping in head first. I had no acting classes. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know how to get started or nothing. So I just went on my own, and again, 4 months later, I was on stage doing my first stage play.
Wow. So Ron, what is the difference in your opinion between preparing for a stage play and preparing for film? Or is there a difference?
Oh yeah, there's a big difference. When you're preparing for a stage play, you're preparing for as is. It's as it is. I mean, if you get up there and you fumble, there's no going back and editing. You can't edit a stage play, but you can edit a film. When we film, sometimes we have to yell out line because we forgot maybe a couple of words in the line. But in the stage play, you can't yell that out. Once those lights go on and that curtain goes back, that's it. So it's a huge difference. And I've been asked the question before, what would I rather between stage and film? Well, they both have their own different feel, but if I had to choose, it would be film. Yeah.
All right. So what would you say is, your type? Like how, when you're casting for stuff, are you looking for things that are the total opposite of you? Or do you find yourself preparing for roles that are a little bit closer to who you are as an individual?
Wow. Well, let's put it like this. Most of the roles that I've been in, the majority of the roles that I've been in have been dealing with law enforcement. I've done maybe two when I played the role of three when I played the role as a doctor. My most recent project was a show called Covenant, which is on All Black, the All Black Network now. It came out. It came out in October, and I play a doctor, and I also played a doctor on Medea's Family Funeral, the last Medea movie that was made. And so, but everything else, I've been, a father, I've been a husband, I've been a chief of police, I've been a detective, So what's next is a judge, an attorney, or I've even played a bishop. I played a bishop on a movie called Come Sunday, which is on Netflix. So
Wow. Okay, yeah. You know what? I see you as a detective. Oh my
a
God,
lot
what
of
is
people
his
say that.
name? Do you watch The Rookie?
No.
You have to watch The Rookie. I cannot think of
Okay.
his name, but he played Jill Scott's husband on Why Did I Get Married? I cannot think of his name, but he is like their
Oh yeah, I know
captain.
who you're talking about. I know
Yes,
who you're talking about.
yes.
I can't
So
think of
look,
his name,
I'm
but I
ready
know
for
who
you
you're
to
talking
play a
about.
detective. I need you to play a detective. And you can take us back to New York Undercover days with Malik Yoba. So that's what we're gonna do.
Well, I actually play a detective in a 3-part series called The Bridge, which is on Prime.
Oh, guys, listen. So let's do this right now. Guys, stop what you're doing. Get your pen and paper. Mr. Ron Godfrey, tell us some of the projects slowly so that we can go back. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to type them in the comments so that they can stream and watch now.
Okay. So let's start with my most
Mhm.
recent,
Okay.
which is on the All Black Network, and it's called Covenant. That is a 4-part anthology series.
Okay.
And there's a 3-part series called The Bridge. That's on Prime. And I play detective on there. And then also on Prime, I'm in a movie called Kitchen Talk. Also on Prime, I'm in a movie called True You, and actor Javon Johnson from The Oval is actually in that movie as well.
You know what? I could see y'all playing in the same films. Let me tell you, it was the greatest thing to meet him. And meeting him, his son actually does music.
Okay.
We were at the Nerve DJ conference in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was sitting there doing something. And I said, "Oh, that man looked like Javon Johnson." And so I
Uh-huh.
kept on doing what I was doing. And he came over there and he was talking. I said, "Don't you play on the oval?" Like, and I just loved that he was so chill because it was
Yeah.
about his son. It wasn't about him. So you
Right.
have that disposition. Like
Thank you.
you, I would have never known who you were for real, because you were chilling. You were really chilling. So I want to put some of these, now, guys. What you do, go research Ron Godfrey. I'm going to put some things up for you to see so that you can support him. But just understand, we have to make sure that we're supporting our independent creators. These are creators, these are innovators, these are leaders in the game. So we have to make sure that we're supporting at all times. All
Thank you.
right. Now, what is the first thing you do to research and approach the role? Let's consult with the people that really may not understand, because everybody wants to act. Everybody wants to be in front of the camera.
Right.
Everybody wants the big break.
Right.
But people don't understand it's work to this thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
what's the first thing you do to research and approach a role?
Um, First of all, I look at the role that I'm playing. If I'm
Mhm.
playing, say for instance, I'm playing a bishop.
Okay.
So what I'll do, or a cop, or detect some type, whatever, I'll go back and I'll do scene study. I'll search for a movie that has a lot of, say, action in it, or a lot of dialogue when it comes to a bishop and their congregation members and everything like that. And I'll watch the mannerisms and different things of that nature. And if it's based on a true story, I'll go back and research that story. I'll research that person, the whole nine, and I just do a full in-depth research, and then I pray. I pray because I want God to, you know, bless me to where I will touch the audience with my
Mm.
performance.
So in essence, you ask him to decrease the you and increase in him and that part that you got to play so it can all come together.
Oh, sure, because
I
I
know
mean,
that's right.
even being on set, before I go on a set, I pray. Before I go on any set, whether it be a movie set or a TV set, I pray. I ask God to go before me.
Oh my goodness. You know, guys, I definitely, those of you that are just checking in, this is actor Ron Godfrey, and he is such a humble man, and so sweet and so genuine. I love him to
Thank you.
pieces. just his presence is warm and inviting, and he's also a teacher. And I'm giving you that title simply because your follow-up. See, a lot of people think that when you're teaching, you're leading. No, a good teacher learns as well, but they also follow up to make sure that you don't forget what they taught you. And so that's what I picked up from you. Now, what do you like about acting the most?
Ooh, acting is it's fun, and it's also therapeutic. It's also therapeutic. Um, there has been times when I was going through some personal issues, and what I would do, I would put that energy into my acting, and actually it made my performance that much better, because I was coming from a real place. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Now, have you had any experiences where you had to learn either, I don't want to say a different language, but like a different dialect for the role? Because I know that's coming across a lot now, especially with, the women in the movement, the story with Emmett Till. And I think about most of our real old stories, our documentaries that they're bringing back and turning them into, series and stuff like that.
Right.
I think about, having to learn a different dialect, especially for those of us who are Southerners.
Right.
And
I haven't had that yet. I haven't had that yet. I've been blessed to not have that yet, but I have to stay prepared because it's coming.
And I believe that. I think that that's the part. I know I have a strong Southern accent at times. Like it's there. But I also feel like sometimes when you're listening, because people in Boston, lately I've been meeting a lot of people from Boston, and they sound like literally they are from England.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, where are you from? And when they say Boston, I'm like, you sure? So yeah, I think that would be something interesting. So producers, casting directors and stuff, actor Ron Godfrey is actively looking, and he wants a role where he has to learn a different dialect. He said he's ready.
Right,
He's
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna have some fun real quick.
I love it. All
right, so sneakers or Timberlands?
Jordans.
You know what? Just because I liked you when I first met you, I'm gonna let you have it. I got one pair of Jordans right here behind me, and I didn't buy them for myself because I don't mean no harm. I buy some LeBrons any day.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay, we can leave right there.
I'm gonna leave it right there for the churn. But people that know me for real, they know that is, I think Jordans are nice shoes. Yeah. But if I wear them, it's because somebody else bought them, not me.
Oh, okay, I got you. And it depends on what you're wearing them with. I mean, if there's a time for the Timbs, and then there's a time for the
Absolutely.
Jordans. So
yeah. You were real strategic. I got you. All right, so guys, it has been so real with you, Mr. Godfrey. And this is not your last time, because what I want to do is I would love for you, and I think what's going to end up happening to three of you, we're going to switch over to All Things Authentic when we run back in the spring. And each of you will have an opportunity to really talk to the people about what it really is in your particular discipline. Because Miss Nina Brooks is coming on. She's our last guest, and she's actually a producer. So I'm going to make that connection. I would love for you guys to chit chat and just see what can be cultivated out of that connection. But let everybody know where they can find you on social media. And if you have any secrets, you can always drop your secrets here. They're safe.
Well, I would give you my Facebook, but my Facebook was locked due to someone trying to hack. So I can give you my Instagram. My Instagram is I am Ron Godfrey. That's I am, not I'm. It's I am Ron Godfrey. That's my Instagram. So you can hit me up on Instagram, and if you follow me, I'll follow back.
He is. Oh, well, maybe. Look. Well, just
Look
flip the at in the eye.
look,
Y'all
Lord,
know I was
look
trying
at
to
you.
type
Look
it a
at you.
little
Just
too
jacking
fast.
me all up.
Just flip the at in the eye. He is Ron Godfrey. And y'all see how he did that? I am somebody. Ron, thank you. And you know what? Believe it or not, you're actually right down the road. So we will definitely connect. We will definitely connect soon. And hopefully you can help me with these lines that I got to learn for these productions that's coming up. Because I be sitting here looking at these lines like, I'm not doing this.
Oh, you're going to do it. You're going to do it.
Monologues, though. And I think that the topics are so me that I think that's the problem. The topics are so me that I'm like, Lord.
Put yourself there. Just put yourself there. Put yourself in the position.
Okay.
And just let it flow.
Okay.
Just let it flow. You have to become that person.
Yes.
Now just know how to come out of that person.
Well, okay. I heard that. I will see you soon. Yes, congratulations on everything that's going on. But just know that there's more to come, and the best is yet to come. So thank you so much. And I will definitely see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
Guys, that was actor Ron Godfrey. And look, I have to shout out a wonderful young lady. And she actually is in the comments helping me out. So today I was blessed to be a part of the Tamron Hall show. And it was so dope. It's amazing that there are so many people out here that want to see you win and provide you with opportunities of your wildest dreams. And I met this young lady, Nicole, today, and she was in the audience like me. We're in a virtual audience, but it's a little bit different when you're in a virtual audience because you're actually interacting and they're actually getting close up. So y'all probably saw me today and y'all already know my facial expressions are everything. They tell what I'm thinking. I don't have no poker face. So if you ask me for the truth and I get quiet, just read my face. But I just want to shout out Miss Nicole. She is super duper dope. She has a major platform and it's centered around cerebral palsy. And if y'all know me and my family, y'all know I have a niece. She's a twin, but one of them, was born with spastic cerebral palsy, quadriplegia. So that's something that, along with Alzheimer's, that's near and dear to my heart. So, guys, I want you to remember this name, Nicole, because she's going to do great work. We're going to do great work, and we're going to that White House so that her platform will stand. All right. Guys, when we first came on, you heard, call me. They calling me, baby. Miss Tiffany Jae. Honey, when I tell you she gave me Whitney Houston vibes, see, y'all can't see them dancing in the background. Tiffany was getting down in the background. Getting down. Girl, when you did that spin and you giving me the Whitney hair, honey.
Come on now.
Honey.
I want to dance with somebody.
Girl, you gotta dance. Look, the people where I come from, the old folks say you better dance, baby. Dance, honey.
You better dance. Nah, so when you played it, I'm rehearsing because my video shoot is tomorrow, day one. So I was rehearsing all the choreography and everything. I'm still in the process of making it up. So I was like, okay, it's the perfect time. Let me see if I got it, So yeah, that's what I was doing.
Ron Godfrey needs to be in that video. He can be on the phone trying to call. So Tiffany, yes, thank you so much for being here. And shout out to my girl MJ. Guys, MJ has been the reason that I met so many dope independent artists. And it's like MJ doesn't just work with any and everybody. It's like everybody that she worked with has this strong work ethic and this just love on them. Mm-hmm. And I just love it. But now, Tiffany, you're a Brooklyn native, but you were you were raised in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Right, yes. Came all the way down.
About the transition.
Well, we moved down here when my sister's dad got a job with the Panthers as like a physical therapist. So that was transition from second to the third grade. I did not want to go. It was very difficult, almost traumatic. It was hard to fit in. The accent, the dialect, everything was just all out of whack. And so, because of that, I sunk even deeper into myself, became an introvert, didn't have many friends. It took me till about age 16 to kind of like establish some real roots and say, okay, I think, this is obviously going to be home. So, here we are. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Charlotte is not, it's about 2 hours from my home base where I was
Okay.
born. So
Okay.
I love like the Carolina, Virginia and Carolina.
Hmm.
I'm with it all day. I'm in Georgia now. And it's interesting. It's a lot different. But yeah, Virginia and Carolina, give it to me any day.
Charlotte's beautiful. It's beautiful. It
It
is.
is. Oh, indeed, indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a stroll down memory lane and talk about the transition into the music.
So, the very first time I sung in front of people was in church. There was somebody who didn't want to sing a solo, and I chose to sing it, and people were kind of surprised. They were like, "Oh, you can sing," and in my mind, I was like, "Yeah," because if I sound like the people on the radio, then of course I didn't need anybody to tell me. But that was the first time, like in front of people. The second time, we had this thing in my church called a rose pageant, and it's kind of like a pageant where you do your talent or whatever. So I had always showcased my artwork, and this time I told the advisor I wanted to sing. I told my mom, she was like, "No, just do your artwork," because she didn't know, you know. So I sang Yolanda Adams' That Name, and she was strolling down the hallways of the church because we had to audition before we went in front of the public. And she was like, "Who is that singing?" And it was like, "That's Tiffany. That's Tiffany." And so after that, I was like, okay, we're on to something. So I thought singing is so simple. Why can't I just do that for a living? Not realizing is basically like being in the NFL, the NBA, like that type of thing. It's very difficult to get in. I happened to, I met somebody who was like a scam artist, and then the person who introduced me to them introduced me to my manager now. Um, his name is Neil and is of 646 Entertainment. And so when I was a senior in high school, flew to California to see if I could get signed to A&M Records. Now, remember the transition from New York? Now we still trying to like come into our own, and I'm just like, I don't know, I can sing though, right? Right. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if I can just sing, take nice pictures, that's really all that matters. But there's more to the package that needs to be brought to the table. So my interview is where I failed. And I'm being real and being honest. That's where I failed. And at the time, I didn't know and I didn't really process it. And until it was explained to me that you have to be able to engage your audience. And that's what she saw. Her name was Michelle at the time. She said, we're going to be able to invest $2 million into you. What do you think? And I was just like, hmm. It wasn't no like, oh my gosh. It wasn't none of that. And so, right, exactly. So, I didn't get it. I was upset. My mom told me a story about how Luther Vandross didn't get it his first time and many other people, stuff like that. So I went off to school. I even told my music manager, if you don't want to work with me anymore, I understand, because he paid for the trip and everything. And nobody does that. So went to school, continued to work, work, work. And my mission was nobody was ever going to tell me that I didn't have any personality. I worked at the YMCA as a camp counselor. I had did, marching band stuff, was in school choirs, track, et cetera, et cetera. Any and everything that you could do to immerse yourself into something that brings that inner entertainer out, so that when it's time to turn the switch on, you're ready at the drop of a hat. And so the testament to that was 2018 when we went to Atlantic Records. I was ready. I was ready. And then the only thing was he was like, "How we gonna market you?" And I was like, but I was ready, and it was like the best performance ever because he basically was glued. Like he was glued to us, and he didn't stop me. I had to stop because we were like, we got to catch our flight. So he just would have kept me singing and singing and singing. But it's a testament that, okay, you've conquered that. Many of people have said you have the total package. You could sing, you dance, praise God, you look good. As far as aging like wine, all of that stuff. So But you know what I mean. So yeah, that's transition. I've done several things, and every new year goal is just to go further and further. And I know that I'm only 1 degree of separation from wherever it is that I'm trying to go. And in the meantime, I'm going to touch the people I can touch and bless them in the process.
Tiffany, you know what? I love when my guests, because I say this all the time.
Uh-huh.
I literally book y'all first come, first serve. And
Mm-hmm.
every single time it always aligns.
Raise a
Ron Godfrey
line.
was supposed to be somewhere else. And now when I think back to who was on that day, he didn't fit that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have to understand.
It's all a divine.
Everything, there is a time, a season, and a purpose.
Come on now. You already
And
know.
just because we're in it does not mean that we're of it. And every time I come around and turn around, the
Yeah.
platform lines up the way it needs to. And
That's
I
what's up.
know it is because, huh,
You
baby,
already know. You know. Yes,
honey,
it's a beautiful thing. Because I was in the
listen,
background when Godfrey was like, yeah, I pray before I go on stage. All of that. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
You have to.
Look,
You
look.
have to remember where you come from.
Sometimes I tell people all the time, sometimes I gotta say a prayer before I get in that club because the way these knees are at 36, I don't want to get down there and can't get back up.
Oh, oh.
Cause honey, I ain't got no Megan knees no more. So if I'm gonna drop it, I got Lord protect me as I go low.
don't, don't hurt yourself now. Please don't. Oh, man.
No,
Yes.
so
Mm-mm-mm.
all right. So we talked about kind of how you started in music. But what
Mm-hmm.
really inspired you? Because now I'm gonna be honest with you. Normally, I don't read your bio until you get on here just to put clips up. So for me to call you Whitney, I didn't know that those were actually songs that you
That's how
like
I
to
grew up.
sing. And
Yeah.
I literally just saw that just now when I was getting ready to put it up. Because my thing is, people think, people always send the thing, can you give me the questions you're gonna ask? I don't know what I'm gonna ask you because I
Until,
feel like if I give you questions, I can't call myself speaking transparency through truth because you got time to prepare and be
mhm.
articulate and perfect because it ain't perfect.
Right, right.
Just be free, be real, be who you
Be
are.
yourself. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I
But
love it.
so I know that used to study Whitney, but who actually inspired you to start creating music?
I will say this. Um, I feel like music is a universal language, and I had difficulty again with the move and everything. I had difficulty like expressing myself. I don't know. I know why, but I just had difficulty expressing myself, and it had a lot to do with what was going on internally at home. And with music, I didn't feel that block. I didn't feel that barrier. I didn't feel that wall. And so it was just a free space to be in and to operate. And I can basically, whatever I was feeling, I could write it down. I could sing it. And the older I get, there are certain songs that I've heard from way back when I've always known what they were about. But now as you get older and you experience life, it really, really hits home. And it means so much. And somebody who wrote that stuff had to go through it. And so I don't know. It's just like I'm connected to you. You're connected to me. I'm connected to we. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just through the music. So I had written my mom a letter one time and I wanted her to read it. And she was like, no, like use your words. And it just, it did something to me, you know? So that's basically why, to be honest. I wanted to be able to speak to people, speak to my mom, speak to just anybody. So I think it came from a desire of wanting to communicate with her and not knowing how. And that's where it came from.
Thank you for your transparency with that. So many people instead of saying, I don't know how to communicate with you, they just shut down or they project that onto you.
Yeah.
Thank you for learning how, because
Yeah.
the reason that I think it's so important for us to learn our how is so that we don't find ourselves in a position questioning
Just,
whether we want to be here or not.
yeah. Whoo, so much of that going on. You already know.
And it's tough. It's tough. You know, there is so much confusion out here. People are getting into things. People are believing in things that are like unseemly things. And I'm just like,
Mm.
when did we get to the point where virtual reality was the
Is,
truth and gospel?
yeah, I know.
Which brings me to my final question for you. How do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
Ugh. Um, there are some pros and there are, we're going to call them opportunities. And I feel like it's all of us as people, we need to own up to it and take a part of it, um, especially with our children, you know? So be mindful of who you are, whose you are, and what you got going on. There's a lot of us that are broken and it's being exposed, right? Through the internet and through social media. It can be very healthy if you make it, but a lot of people, they don't know how to process what's going on. You asked about music. It opens up a lot of doors, a lot of avenues, but it oversaturates the market. And so sometimes it can be frustrating, a little disappointing, because how can you shine? Anybody and everybody has access to any and everybody, you know? So how do you vet who's real, who's not? Godfrey was talking about his Facebook got hacked. My Instagram got hacked, you know? So it was just very, it's a lot. There's a lot of dishonesty going on, ingenuous going on, catfishing, all of that stuff. So sometimes, and then as far as things being viral, what's real talent isn't necessarily what's
Oh, it
popular,
ain't going viral.
you know? Yeah.
Child,
So there's,
I never go viral, honey.
it's all right in its time. In its time, you got to continue to believe in its time. All things are going to work together. So yeah, that's how those are the pros and those are the opportunities. And I feel like it takes us to have opportunities like this and the people that we're connected to continue to spread the word so that it can be brought to light and we're going to touch the people that we need to touch. You know, so just continue to do the work and know that it's all connecting somehow. So you just got to believe in that. And there are pros and cons because if it wasn't for social media, you know, you and I probably wouldn't have been able to do this. You know what I mean? The people that I've met,
Agree.
exactly. In the last 2 years, I wouldn't have been able to meet them and then, you know, establish a better connection in the future in person. So I am thankful, but it's also, like you said, as far as reality, keeping and knowing what's actually real. We gotta keep with that.
Woo! So, Tiffany, let everybody know where they can find Calling Me along with all of your other beautiful, melodious music.
Yes. So my name is Tiffany Jae. You can find me at Miss Tiffany Jae everywhere. The website or all things Tiffany Jae are on MissTiffanyJ.com. Calling Me is the latest single. We're about to put out a video. So excited for that. Work for it. That's WERK, the number 4 and it, and then say that you want me. So those are the three. You better stop saying, come on. Those are the three that are under Tiffany Jae. Again, everything, the music, the art, the dance, the podcast, news, all things Tiffany Jae on MissTiffanyJ.com. And that's Instagram,
All
Facebook,
things
YouTube,
Tiffany Jae.
IG. Yeah.
Yes, Tiffany, thank you so much for being here. Girl, listen, when I'm in Charlotte
Come on.
next month, yes, we
Come
going
on.
somewhere and we're gonna jam. We're gonna get down. We're gonna
Come
get
on.
down. Thank you, beautiful. I can't wait to see the video, and we will definitely be streaming Calling Me and work for it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you.
Girl,
Thank you for
look,
having me.
you gotta go find. I got a friend That's a Kappa in Charlotte. You need to
Ooh,
get him in the girl and get him to put
ooh,
those shoulders in there.
the shimmy. I can't.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Let me know.
thank you, Miss Tiffany. And I
You're
hope you have
welcome.
a beautiful night, darling.
Thank you.
Guys, y'all know I love to have fun. I love to have fun. Now, my last guest of the hour, Miss Nina, we're going to have fun. But I know that with Miss Nina, she does a lot of different things now. Now, I'm going to tell you, Nina has a major portfolio as an author, a writer, producer, director, filmmaker. She also works in the public relations realm. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to bring Nina out. But Nina, Nina, we're gonna really have a conversation, honey, because we need to get some things straight. But first, introduce yourself to the world and let them know what Nina Brooks has to offer.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you guys tuned in tonight. Let's see, what do I have to offer the world? My spirit. My spirit. That's what I have to offer the world. I am a writer, director, and producer, independent. Although I have done work on other shows with studios and worked on other projects with lots of other people, I'm an independent filmmaker. My life partner and I are in business together in that realm. Yeah, so I'm also a published author, and I also am in the PR realm as well. I do a lot of public relations for film festivals, and I've also been in information technology. I'm a technology professional. I've been in big tech for about 17 years now, so I do a lot. But that's just some of what I do.
And I think it's important, guys, that you understand that Nina is one of the individuals that we talk about a lot, because a lot of times people feel as if you have to just stop your career, your technical or vocational professional career, to work on our other careers. Because in essence, all of us, well, most of us have our professional day careers, but then we have our 24/7 creative careers, right?
That's right.
But Nina, you have a plethora of high demand expertise.
Yeah, I do.
So let's talk about that and how you're able to forge and merge those things for the betterment of Nina Brooks.
First of all, I raised 3 children. So let's put that out there, right? And in doing that, in raising those 3 children, and went to school full time and had held down a full-time job while I did that. So if I'm able to do all of that, why can't I do anything else that I want to do? My mindset was, if I can raise 3 kids and go to school full time and work full time, I can do anything. I can be anything. So that was it for me.
You know what I'm gonna do, and y'all know I can be real petty. I'm gonna clip what you just said,
That's right.
and I'm gonna play it, cause child, I'm gonna do this. Let me shout out my brother, and then y'all can figure out the rest, because you just said you raised 3 kids.
Yes.
You were in school full time, and weren't you working?
Yes, and I worked full time.
3 kids, school full time, and we working. Now, did you have a husband?
I did not have a husband, but I did. But I did have. Their dad was around. But come on now, we Black mothers.
Okay,
and I'm not saying that.
To process this
right,
thing.
and I'm not saying that he wasn't there, but he was.
And you worked.
Yeah.
And you was in school full time.
Yeah, yeah.
And how often did you get a break?
And my mother died when I was 17 years old, by the way, and I didn't know my father at the time. So I was literally alone, basically. I had the support of my friends, and I had, you know, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Nina, I'm gonna drop the mic for you, because anybody, y'all listening out there, stop talking about how tired you are when you don't work and you don't have no job and you raising children. You're not tired, you're lazy. These mothers are out here getting it with multiple kids, businesses, working, and dealing with the stresses of being a woman and a parent. I just had to put that out there. Okay, let's get back, because y'all know I get passionate about people that are defying the odds and are not making excuses because of whatever their circumstances or situations are. I get tired of it.
It's Black History Month, Lily Mae. So I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to all of the Black mothers and fathers who are out here doing their thing, whatever it may be. Keep pushing, you know, keep working, and don't give up, you know, and just know that you are that shining example for your children. Know that.
Yes.
Know that.
Yes. That's it. The example for our babies. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. Now let's walk through some of the different things, because I know being an author means a lot to you. Being an author means a lot to you. So let's dive into, you know, being an author, how you came into being an author. You know, when did you start writing?
It's a long story. I started writing because a very dear cousin of mine, she was also my best friend. She died from lung cancer. And I mean, I'm sorry, spine cancer. And we lost her very quickly in about 6 weeks. And she was also my best friend. Her mother and my mother are 1 year apart. And when I lost her, that it literally broke me, to be honest with you. So when I lost her, I was also going through a serious transition, because my youngest son was empty nesting, and he had just joined the Air Force, and he was leaving home, right? And I had just went through like a real nasty breakup, and I was just going through a lot of things, you know. And I had sent Chris, who's my life partner now, I had sent him a really long text message, and I expected him to respond like most guys do and say, okay, or I understand. But he didn't. He responded and he said, where's the rest of it? And I said, what do you mean, where's the rest of it? And he said, well, where's the rest of it? I said, I don't know what you mean. And he said, it would be a shame for you not to share what you just shared with me, with the world. And I said, you mean like a book? And he said, yeah. And I said, I'm not a writer. And he said, yes, you are. And I said, no, I'm not. And he said, Nina, yes, you are. So I said, let me wrap my brain around that, right? So it took me a couple of weeks, and I wrote my thesis in graduate school. I wrote my thesis on emotional intelligence. So what I did was I just took that format and wrote out the chapter names first, and just started filling in the chapters after I wrote the chapter names. And while I was writing it, I texted him and I said, we should turn this into a TV series. And he said, a movie. And I said, nope, a TV series. 2 years later, we shot the pilot for the TV series. And so we have a whole series that's written and ready to go for funding, if anybody wants to help us out.
Investors, you heard her say independent. Put some respect on the independent and invest. We quick to share the big stuff. Let's share this big stuff, because this is larger than life.
And then I took all the scripts, right, from the season and condensed them to a feature film. So I also have it written as a feature film as well. So but the book is The Lovers. It's based on a true story. This is based on a true story about my life. there are some things that are embellished in the book. So it's not an autobiography. So of course there are some things that are embellished to make the story, more creative and more interesting. But it is based on a true story about my life. I lost my mom when I was 17 years old to lung cancer. And like I said before, I didn't really know my dad, and it was just me and my sister growing up, and I didn't have any brothers. It was me and my sister and my mom. And my mom was also a heroin addict. So we went through a lot. There was a lot of struggle growing up. And there was never, ever, ever, ever a negative or a deficit of love. There was always an overflow of love in our house. And she just always let her girls know how much she loved us and cared for us, and she always worried about us constantly and continuously. So we knew that we were loved. We just knew that she was struggling with a disease, which is addiction, so, and a lot of that had to do, with depression and things like that. So check on your loved ones, make sure that they're okay, because depression is real, and you just never know. But what people are going through. But in any case, that's how I grew up. And when she left me, I was 17. I had a baby, and I had to figure it out. So I did what I had to do. I hustled, and I did everything. I hustled. I worked. I got a fake ID. I worked in a nightclub in Pittsburgh so that I could make money under the table while I was also collecting welfare from Uncle Sam. And I did a little bit of everything. I moved. I was in the drug realm for a minute, and I was in that. But I will tell you one thing: having a daughter to take care of kept me focused on what the real goal was. And I'm grateful to God that I've never been in harm's way. I've never been in any trouble. He's moved so much in my life and has always been my guiding force. And my life is amazing. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I'm so grateful and so blessed. And I can't even say enough of the blessings that I've received and continue to receive. So the book is out. This is the first in a series. Hopefully, there's a 3-part series. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the season going and have episodes to follow this. So the first episode is fully polished and ready to go, and the story Bible is ready to go, and the business proposal is ready to go, and everything is ready to go. So just waiting on that next step. But get your copy of The Lovers. It's on Amazon. It's on Kindle. The website is The Lovers, the bookseries.com. So please grab your copy today. I am on Instagram. This is Nina Brooks. I am on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. This is Nina B. We're everywhere.
People sleep on LinkedIn, but guys, I'm so glad she said that, because, and I'm going to type in, and I'm gonna do. Look, I ain't gonna do like I did with Godfrey, and had the at and after the I. But guys, people really sleep on LinkedIn. If you are a professional, creative, innovative visionary, please make a LinkedIn. Please make a
Definitely.
LinkedIn.
Definitely.
Seriously.
So you heard me say I do PR work, right? So last summer I got to work with Emmy Award winning director Ime Alaquiva. He created this PSA for Black Lives Matter for the non-speaking community, and it's called Unspeakable, right? And I got to work as a public relations manager for film festivals on that. But while I was doing that, I used LinkedIn. I just constantly submitted to people on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn to make connections in film. I use LinkedIn to make connections in my professional life, right? I use LinkedIn all the time. So LinkedIn is a great resource for people. Everybody's on LinkedIn.
Oops. Okay, so we're actually streaming right now on YouTube. We're streaming on LinkedIn and we're streaming on Twitter. So what I'm going to make sure that I do is send you the event so that you can then post that on your LinkedIn, because
Awesome.
luckily, guys, and just so you know, if you want to stream to LinkedIn, you have to apply and be approved. And it took a couple of months for me to, go through that process. But yeah, and since I've been streaming on LinkedIn, I've been getting a lot of information, because what ends up happening is, yes, people know that this is my creative platform, but by day I'm a professional. I have a whole career, and so it has allowed me to also build professional relationships in the realm of behavioral health and business consulting in the area of operations and strategy. So I think that what all of us have to offer the world tonight is that we're creatives and we have fun, but we're also professionals. And more importantly, we're human and we get tired and we have things to do. But luckily, we have relationships with higher beings that allow us to
Amen.
push through and pull through. So, Nina, I want you to take us out by telling us a little bit about your quote. Never put a period where God has placed a comma, for the sky is not the limit. Tell us
So
what that means to you.
the very first part of that came from never put a period where God has placed a comma. The first piece of that came from the first person that gave me an opportunity to work in the creative space. When we were looking for a director, Chris called my life partner, Chris. He called a lot of directors, and everybody said no, that they were busy. Called Ime Alaquiva, and Ime said, "Yep, I'll do it." Right. So we were working together on set, and we were talking about this being my passion, and he gave me a lot of encouragement and said, "Nina, you were born to do this." He said, "You were born to do this." He said, "Never put a period where God has placed a comma." And I never forgot that. And I keep that with me. And one of his quotes is, "For the sky is not the limit." So I just combine them both. So I don't own neither one of them.
But look, you were inspired by it, and so you used it. Nina, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're
I
welcome.
am so elated to have been connected with you and Tiffany Jae via MJ. Shout out to
Shout
MJ
out to
for
MJ.
making this connection. And Nina, what I'm gonna need for you to do for me, definitely, we have the private chat over here. Drop information. I know that Abrielle, she is a writer and she is spectacular. She's in Virginia. She's in Northern Virginia. And
Okay.
she definitely wants to get your book. And I'm pretty sure she wants to pick your brain about writing. She has a blog, and she definitely works on it from time to time. But she also has a book of poetry that I know that she had been working on and wanted to do something with. So Abrielle, if you're still listening, I definitely want to connect you guys, and I'm pretty sure she could use the mentorship.
Well, I will tell you this. I was very fortunate and very blessed to have family publish my book for me. So I will say shout out to We Publishing. We Publishing is Black owned. It's a Black owned publishing company. It's owned by my family. Her name is Erica, and she and her husband
Oh,
are in business together. And she worked very closely with me to get this work published. So I'm very grateful to her for that. So I will post the link for the lovers, and I really appreciate the support, honestly. One other thing I wanted to add, though,
yes.
For everybody who's viewing and listening, is that I'm working on my most recent film, which is a short film that I wrote. It's a spiritual film. It's called The Passport. I had a very uh, godly moment that happened to me in life when I was at a crossroads and I was looking for guidance and direction. And you never know who God sends your way. You never know. And he sent somebody my way that day. And I took that experience and created a screenplay around it. to honor God and give him the glory. It's called The Passport. And right now it's in post-production, and it should be released this summer and be streaming this summer. So I'm really excited.
You make sure that you get those casting notices to me. I have, and I definitely have a young lady, and Mr. Godfrey is here. I definitely will pass that information on, because one thing about it, we got to keep this independent family together and start to give opportunities and provide opportunities, because I'm a firm believer that if we find a platform and we all pour into that platform, we're going to all win. I think a big part of the problem is everybody wants their name to be the first name. But you know something? I enjoy serving.
Yes.
Because it takes a leader to be able to serve from the back. It's easy to lead and serve when you're getting praise. But when you're behind the scenes and you getting cussed out and you getting carried and you don't know what's going on and you got to try to make it work. So guys, let's stop needing to be in the limelight. Let's legit serve from behind the scenes and pour into one platform, because that one platform could blow all the way up and we will all eat together.
Amen.
Guys, it's your girl Lily Mae. We started out with actor Ron Godfrey. We went through to Miss Tiffany Jae, and we're ending with Miss Nina B. Guess what? We brought you joy, we brought you jewels, and we brought you a whole lot of justice. Guys, have a great evening.